Hi, Julius. Good morning. You hear me?
Hi, Patricia. Good morning. I can hear you.
Yes, perfect. Okay, I'm early ready. I come back in 5 minutes.
Okay,
What I want to know, did you already give me the rights to screenshots? Sorry.
Yeah, I will give you the right once you want to present. I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. Because I will take the PowerPoint at Bayer Consulting, and I will help to my colleagues to pass the slides. But only
Yes, that's fine. I'll give you the hosting right once you want to present.
okay. See you in 5 minutes. Thanks.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
I can hear you well.
Hi,
And you?
welcome.
Hello, welcome everyone.
Welcome,
Hello.
Sabine.
Great. Christine.
Hi, Patricia.
How are you? You hear us? You see us?
Yeah, we can see and hear you.
Okay, perfect.
Sabine, you have Patricia's name. Do you want to rename?
Oh, oh yes. I don't know why. Sabina, maybe can you put the your name? I don't know how.
Probably because I'm connected with the link that you just sent me.
Yes, maybe. Yeah.
I will reconnect. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Yes, see you. Thanks, Grace. I didn't see that.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, Sabina, perfect.
Is it better now?
Yes. Great, we need only to wait.
Why did you drop? Okay. The GSI meeting of workshop, are you not supposed to be there? Gdsm has gone to the place. Let me speak to him. Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello?
hello, Christina.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello? Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Yes, hi, Mark.
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. And you? Everything's good?
Yes,
Yes.
Sounds really good.
we are ready.
Hope so.
Good morning, Mark. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. My name is Grace. So we are going to wait for 5 minutes extra just for other participants to join. So we just give them grace time of 5 minutes. Kindly bear with us.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So my name is Grace, like I said earlier on. So welcome to this webinar. Welcome to this session. This is the first webinar where Gs1 Nigeria is hosting. We have partnered with Bayard to become a data pool on our own. So before we start, I would just like to really present the agenda. So we are going to talk about benefits of Gdsn for suppliers and the recipients. Then we have representatives from Bayard Consulting Group. We have Mark, we have Sabine, we have Patricia, and from Gs1 Nigeria, we have Mr. Julius Adedoyi and Mrs. Christine Oyewo, and they're going to speak to us. So before we continue, I know we have a lot of questions, maybe while the session is going on, but would like you to just drop it in the chat box, which will be attended to later. And a recorded version will also be available later. So for those of us that are just joining, welcome once again. We are here to discuss how data can, help us improve our business. We know that nowadays data is something that is, very crucial. Like it helps us visualize what is happening in our business, create new theories to create solutions that will help us improve what we do, whether you're in the retail sector, whether it's the healthcare, you need your up-to-date patient data, which is very, very important. So how do you exchange this with your business partners, like your trading partners, this so that you improve your operations and everything will work efficiently? So this is one of the reasons why we are here today. So I'm going to give the, I'll let Madam Oyewo talk now.
So thank you very much, Grace. So let me share my screen. So good morning, everybody. My name is Christine Oyewo. I lead healthcare in Gs1 Nigeria. So I want to thank all of you for being here today. This is our first webinar on the Global Data Synchronization Network. And we are going to be discussing about what the Global Data Synchronization Network is, or GDSM for short. And first of all, we want to mention here that the importance of sharing quality master data cannot be overemphasized, because it is actually necessary for so many things. First of all, it is necessary for smooth business processes that do exist between organizations and their stakeholders and their business partners. It saves both time and money. It reduces errors. It increases efficiency. It reduces redundancy in IT systems. And it is actually globally becoming necessary in donor-supported healthcare systems like the United States, like USAID. Apart from that, it is very, very strongly implemented in retail and in healthcare systems globally, especially with respect to to the retail sector and also to medical devices. It is extremely necessary in healthcare, where mistakes in the sharing of quality master data cannot be tolerated, cannot be allowed. So one thing we want to begin now with is to actually explain the relationship that we have entered into with the Bayard Consulting Group. And the Bayard Consulting Group are actually consulting with Gs1 Nigeria on the deployment of the Global Data Synchronization Network, or GDSM for short, for the healthcare and the fast-moving consumer goods and retail sectors. and are actually working with Gs1 Nigeria and organizations to achieve the objectives of Gdsn onto the full development of the Gdsn Nigeria's data pool. So we're going to explain what all these really mean in the presentations that we're going to have. And the most important thing we must remember is that Gdsn actually enables the standardized industry-wide exchange of product content, that is master data. Master data being a description of the characteristics about products, and it consequently brings security, transparency, and efficiency to trading partners and consumers. So we're going to hand over back to Grace now, so that we can begin the presentations in detail. So please, Grace, back to you. Thank you. So we can project the next part of the agenda.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Oyewa, for that wonderful opening remark and letting us know what this webinar is about. So the next presenter. Okay, so the next presenter is Madam Oyewa. She's going to introduce us to Gdsn generally so that we can have an overview of what it's all about. Thank you for staying with us.
You're on mute, just to let you know.
Good morning once again, everybody. We are actually we are beginning the presentation on the basics of Gdsn, or the Global Data Synchronization Network. We're going to speak about what it is and what it does. And so we begin. So Gdsn is actually the acronym for the Global Data Synchronization Network. It is actually one of our shared standards for master data exchange. So in Gs1, we actually have 3 sets of standards. We have standards that we use to identify products, locations, assets, logistical units, persons that are actually involved in the supply chain, patients, even consumers. So we use our identification standards to actually track products in supply chain, track products as they move through the supply chain, for instance, in the case of traceability. And we actually use these standards to allow trading partners to gain access to information about products that these identification keys actually represent. So our second set of standards are actually our capture standards. And our capture standards are actually barcodes and EPC RFID systems. And what our capture standards do is that they actually encode majorly our identification keys for products, like the global trade item number, which is our identification key that does identify products. And when you, for instance, scan a barcode, the GTIN, or the global trade item number, which is behind it, actually leads you to information about the product that is actually encoded in that barcode, or what that barcode represents. So we have quite a number of capture standards. We have standards that we use in point of sales, like the EN or UPC barcode. We have standards that we use specifically for traceability, like the Gs1 128 and the Gs1 data matrix barcodes. We have barcodes that we use for inventory management within warehouse, like the ITF 14 barcode. And we also have the RFID system in which RFID chips are attached to products, and an RFID reader, which is located within the warehouse, is able to read and identify the number of quantities of SKUs or products that are actually within that location. So our third set of standards are shared standards. We have shared standards that are ideal for the sharing of master data. And that's what we're going to speak about mostly today through Gdsn, the Global Data Synchronization Network. We have standards for transactional data. We call that the electronic data interchange. We use this for the sharing of transactional data, for data, of course, between businesses. We use it for business to business. We use it for shipping. We use it for so many other things. And as some of you have heard from Gs1 Nigeria in our communication, our third share standard is our standard for the sharing of event data, and that is specifically tailored to traceability. So this is actually, we actually call this the Electronic Product Code Information System, or EPCIs for short. So this morning we're going to speak majorly on our share standard for master data, the Global Data Synchronization Network, or GDSM for short. And just to start off the conversation, what we're just pulling out here are the three types of data that we just discussed in terms of data that we share. So master data, which is actually associated with the Global Data Synchronization Network, is data for, of course, that provides a description about the product, like the brand name, usage information, packaging details, strength of the product, the presentation, storage and handling, things like that. So it's actually static data, or data that does not change, that is actually associated with the product that it is describing. Transactional data has to do with orders and invoices and shipments. As I mentioned just now, it's ideal for business to business communication, in which when, for instance, it does exist between organizations, when a company stock has, for instance, reached its minimum reorder level, an order is automatically generated and sent to the supplier. So these are the kind of things that EDI does. And visibility event data is actually our third type of data data that is shared through our GS1 system of standards. And it has to do with what products, when did this take place, where did it take place, and why did it take place. And it actually is the bedrock of track and trace or traceability. So moving on to the global trade item number. The global trade item number, or GTIN for short, actually encodes product master data. So what we have here is that we have an example of what a global trade item number looks like, and data that is encoded in the GTIN, which actually identifies that product. So as just mentioned, we have the brand name, usage information, the product image, and in the situation of GDSN or a GDSN requirement, the dosage item have a serial number, product description, packaging details, storage and handling, and so much more. So this is actually what we call product master data. And what we need to remember is that product master data actually is actually static data that describes the characteristic of the product. So one thing that we need to speak about is actually the master data problem, because it does exist. What you see is that there's actually a challenge around master data. And the truth of the matter is that every company has a database that is filled with information about products or master data about the products that they make, they sell, or they buy. But the truth of the matter is that when one company changes any information in the database or has a new item in their database, another database, like for instance, a database of the customer that they share this master data with becomes outdated. Because the seller, for instance, is updating information and the buyer actually has the old information. And that means that the information in the buyer's database has actually become outdated. So another thing again is that IT systems are actually evolved in silos, of course, separately or alone over the decades. Improvements made in one IT system in isolation of the others can reduce interoperability because the master data doesn't match. Proprietary data solutions make it difficult to share data. Like for instance, maybe a solution provider has maybe his own, solution, it's not something that can be shared between trading partners that are maybe operating in different continents, trading partners that just want to access information about what a seller, master data about what a seller has. And the truth of the matter is that as reliance on competing systems grows over the decades, so does the need to access more information in different ways, in different places, by different people. And this is one thing that we know is very, very important. Another thing again is that manufacturers need to know what kind of data customers and regulators need and what is the purpose of this data. It is very important that manufacturers have a clear understanding of the data quality recipients of those the data quality requirements of those companies, organizations who are data recipients. So these are the things that manufacturers actually need to know. Another thing is that the standardized sharing of information systematically and accurately about products is extremely important for manufacturers. And they need to be able to share master data in a very seamless, streamlined, and accurate and efficient manner in order to improve time to market, improve customer satisfaction, save money, and reduce waste. Now, healthcare providers, and these are hospitals, these are retail pharmacies, need standardized product data that enables care providers to more easily analyze and compare care outcomes. This is extremely important, especially in healthcare. And they also need to be able to very easily register product information in patient records. And they need a single and integrated system of exchange of information to enable verification of the right product for the right patient. And that's just the beginning of really what they need. There's so much more. And so here we come to the opportunity, or to the master data opportunity. So what we need is that we need data that is fit for the intended purpose. Master data has to be systematic. There has to be standardized communication of product data. And this all has to be achieved through a common data dictionary. And so here we begin the story of Gdsn. So Gdsn is a standardized solution, a standardized Gs1 standard for the sharing of master data. And the Global Data Synchronization Network is the world's largest product data network. It makes it possible for any company in any market to share high-quality product information seamlessly, because companies of all sizes need the same thing. They need timely and reliable product information to ultimately benefit trading partners, consumers, patients, and anybody that requires access to master data about the company's products. And what Gdsn does is that it actually connects trading partners via what we call a network of Gdsn certified interoperable data pools. We're going to speak about that. So what Gdsn does is that high quality product content is uploaded into data pools. It is maintained and it is shared automatically among any recipient that is on that data pool, ensuring that trading partners have immediate access to the most current and complete information needed to exchange products on both local and global markets. And once a data is updated by supplier of information to that data pool, every recipient that has access to this information obtains the updated information. So Gdsn actually realizes powerful benefits for your businesses. First of all, it allows organizations to share product content with all trading partners simultaneously. It decreases data management time and costs. So what we don't have is that we don't have somebody, maybe your IT department, filling in manual forms and stuff like that. It enables manual process, it eliminates manual processes and reduces errors, generating quality data. It brings new products to the market quickly and easily, and it enables brand transparency to consumers and patients. So these are the kind of things that Gdsn does. Other benefits are the exchange of accurate master data and trusted information between partners. As I mentioned before, it ends time-consuming processes and manual forms. It also establishes transparency in sourcing and pricing. And this is extremely important, especially in our local environments, where we see instances where products are made very expensive to retailers because of scarcity. Another thing that it does is that it eliminates expensive redundancies in IT systems and internal business processes. It helps to increase sales. It supports efficiency in business processes. And as I mentioned before, it increases data accuracy. So we're going to now look at the elements of Gdsn. What are they? And so this is what Gdsn looks like, you know, on a very simple platform. So what we have is that we have sellers on one side and we have buyers on the other side. And we have the global data synchronization network. And the global data synchronization network is composed of two things. One of them, we call it the Gs1 Global Registry and data pools. And data pools are where sellers provide information, master data about their products into. And data pools are where buyers access this product information. So there are certain Gs1 identification keys that are key for effective operation of the global data synchronization network. And the first of them is the global trade item number. So the global trade item number, as we mentioned at the very beginning of this presentation, is actually a 14-digit number that is used to uniquely identify any product that will be priced, ordered, or invoiced at any point within the supply chain. So this is actually a 14-digit number, and it is used to identify SKUs. So what we have here is that if we have a pack of paracetamol that contains maybe 12 tablets, it's actually going to have a different global trade item number from a pack of paracetamol tablets that contains, for instance, 96 tablets. So that each individual SKU can be uniquely identified. Another thing that is key to GDSN is what we call the global location number, or GLN for short. And this is actually a 13-digit number that is used to uniquely identify information suppliers, legal entities, and physical locations. These are key to GDSN. So what we have is that these identification keys are key. And the truth of the matter is that we need to use this. And we also need to define target markets or markets in which products are going to be sold to begin the process of GDSN. So also very important is organizational GPCs, or global product classifications, which organizations get immediately. They actually request for a global trade item number, or they register with any Gs1 member organization. And it's very important for us to realize that global location numbers are required for all trading partners that are going to use GDSN, including people that supply information to GDSN, the sellers, and people that, of course, receive information, or who are the recipients, like the buyers. So there are two major building blocks of GDSN. We have the Gs1 Global Registry and what we call the Gdsn Certified Data Pools. And it's actually in the Gdsn Certified Data Pools that suppliers of data place their information or place master data about products. And the Gs1 Global Registry is actually the information registry of Gdsn that actually identifies wherever information is held across the Gdsn network. So this global registry knows where suppliers or companies, organizations put their master data. And what it also does is that it enables the uniqueness of the registered items, those are the products themselves, and the companies, organizations that supply information to Gdsn, and also those organizations or trading partners that receive information from Gdsn. So what it does is that it contains item subscription information, which is required by recipients. So all these are things that we're going to, of course, build organizations or work with organizations when we begin to work with you with Beat. The second building block is actually the Gdsn certified data pools. And these Gdsn certified data pools are interoperable electronic catalogs of standardized master data. So what you just need to know is that the data pools contain the master data about your products. And what the data pools do is that they ensure confidentiality, where suppliers' data can only be accessed by specific recipients that suppliers want to access their products. For instance, if a supplier decides, okay, that they want recipients who are in a certain target market, for instance, in Africa and Europe, they only want those recipients to access master data, they can define it. And the Gdsn certified data tools ensure integrity of the master data that is provided to these data pools. So this actually leads to trusted data, accurate data that can be shared between organizations who are supplying information to these data pools and the recipients who need this data. So we're now going to describe what we call attributes, because as we continue in our conversation, we're going to be mentioning this word attributes. Attributes are just described as characteristics of a product that make up master data. That's all they are. So just think of attributes as the product, the brand name, maybe the generic name, the strengths, the presentation, directions for use, stuff like that. That's what master data is. Gdsn actually have requirements for master data because master data is Gdsn. So Gdsn has specific attributes that require for companies to enjoy, of course, to use or to enjoy Gdsn. So there are certain attributes that are required by this global registry that we just mentioned, and there are actually 8 attributes. And there are also 18 mandatory attributes that are also required to exchange data across this network. So but also in addition to these 8 attributes required by the global registry and the mandatory attributes that are required to synchronize data across the network, certain recipients, and we have seen these kind of things happening with donor-funded programs, they also do sometimes specifically ask for additional attributes. So it's very important for us to remember that we have 8 attributes that are required by the global registry and 18 attributes that are required to synchronize data across Gdsn, but that certain recipients of information may also require suppliers to provide additional attributes. So we'll speak about a bit of this at the end of the presentation. Yeah. So we further will talk about the attributes that are required by the global Gs1 Global Registry. Things like the global trade item number of the product that uniquely identifies the SKU of the product, the global location number of the person that's supplying this information, the name of this this information provider. There's a country code for target markets that that is required, product classification category, publication date, that okay, this is date I put product master data into Gdsn, the effective date, this is when the product master data becomes valid, and the last date of change. For instance, okay, if you are changing some information about your master data, then this date needs to be registered. In addition to this, there are 18 attributes required by that are required to synchronize data between recipients and suppliers and recipients of information on Gdsn. So there are 18 of them. Some are actually yes or no answers. So we have stuff like brand name, functional name, description of a trade item, and other things. So IDEX. What we're just trying to do here is to make sure that we describe the product fully, so that there can be no error in terms of things like, okay, maybe it's this product, maybe it's that product. So these are some of the, these are actually 18 attributes that are required for synchronization across the Gdsn network. So you find out that these are 18 mandatory attributes. I don't really want to describe what they are. Everybody that registers for this for the webinar is going to get our presentations, so we can look into more or less what these attributes are. Gs1 Nigeria and Bayard are going to support companies that with working through these attributes and setting up Gdsn. So this is just for you to know that the eight attributes required by the global Gs1 Global Registry and 18 mandatory attributes to synchronize data across Gdsn. So apart from that, for healthcare, There are some specific attributes that require because you find out that these attributes are specifically targeted to healthcare. So these are what they have. So things like quantity, dosage form, stuff like that, things that healthcare does require. So it's also another thing that might be required is, okay, if there's an additional product identified, like for instance, a country registration number, like NAFTA registration number. So these are some of the things that are also required as such. Another thing is, how does Gdsm work? So we're going to take through step by step before we start through it step by step before we start to show you the diagrams. So what it does is that Gdsm works via a network of interoperable data pools, and the Gs1 Global Registry to exchange data from trading partners. So what happens is that suppliers prepare internal data, master data, and systems to match Gs1 standards. So those organizations are supplying data to Gdsn. So they prepare data, they prepare their master data, they prepare, they of course get their Gtings, they get their GLN, they do the necessary product listing behind it, and the master data that they want to, of course, supply to the Gdsn network. They upload their data to a Gdsn certified source data pool of their choice, anyone they like. And this data pool sends basic information about each item or party to the Gs1 Global Registry. And the Gs1 Global Registry holds this information and the location of each items or parties data pool and the master data that's within it. And what happens then is that people that want to access this data subscribe to the supplier, suppliers or party information, the global registry, via their own chosen Gdsn certified data pool. And the Gs1 Global Registry identifies the source data pool of the requested items or party. And finally, using a synchronization engine, trading partners perform publications of publication and subscription processes, and therefore any information about our master data can be automatically and continuously synchronized between the data pool of recipients and suppliers. So you can share. So the suppliers and the recipients of the suppliers of information and the recipients of information can simply, of course, get access. Of course, recipients can get access to the data, master data of products of their suppliers. So it's automatic, and it is and it is something that is continuously synchronized. So once the supplier updates its master data, the recipient, of course, gets access to that updated master data. So this is what it just looks like in a schematic form. We have the GLN, or the global location number of the manufacturer. We have the global location number of the distributor or wholesaler. We have the global location number of the healthcare provider, what is a hospital or retailer. And this manufacturer provides information to the source data pool. This information, of course, the details of this information are stored in the global data registry. Whenever the recipient requests for information, they make their request through their recipient data pool. The request goes to the global Gs1 Global Registry, and the Gs1 Global Registry gets the information that the recipient wants from the source data pool. So what the Gs1 Global Registry does is that they actually search for information. Where is the information that the recipient is looking for? And once they locate it, they publish this data back to the recipient's data pool, and the recipient obtains this information. So this is really what it is all about. Obviously, it's as we mentioned at the very beginning, having the global trade item number of products that is actually essential for supply information. And these are things that, of course, the global trade item number, the information associated around the global trade item number, any other information that is provided to the source data pool can be received by the recipient. So this is more or less the same thing. This is actually how it works. So the supplier loads data into the source data pool. This information is captured in the Gs1 Global Registry. The recipient, of course, requests for master data through their own recipient data pool. The Gs1 Global Registry searches for that, searches for the data pool that contains that information, gets that information, and the source data pool, of course, sends this information back to the recipient's data pool. And this is actually how Gdsm works. So Gdsm is essential for data quality. Data quality is essential for a successful data synchronization program. This is extremely important. And the characteristics of good quality master data are that the data must be complete, it must be consistent, it must be accurate, it must be time-stamped, and it must be based on industry standards. So, thank you very much. So I will hand over back to Grace to find out if we have any questions or answers. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the presentation, Madam Christine. And I hope we enjoyed that session. I enjoyed it. I mean, I was able to pick a lot of things from it. The fact that we have data-hungry consumer and Gdsm is a, Gs1 share standard. And one of the building blocks is the Gs1 Global Registry and the data pool, which we are partnering with Bayard to become one. And I also learned that we need certain Gs1 identification key to, actually actualize that, like the GTIN, Global Trade Item Number, and the GLN, the Global Location Number. So right now we are going to speak to someone from Bayard Consulting Group. So they are going to share with us success stories, because Global Bayard, they are known for, moving data. One of the reasons why we are here and one of the reasons why we are, on this webinar right now is to know how you can share information between your trading partners. So in order for you to actualize this is what Bayard has been doing for many years. So they are going to share with us success stories on how they've done it so far with different industries, and they are going to talk broad, like a lot, about how they have done it in the healthcare industry as well. So I need someone from Bayard would be, I think Patricia is going to go first. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Grace. I will share my screen. Please let me know if you.
Yes, you can share your screen, Patricia.
Okay, thanks. No, this is the second one. Okay. I don't know if.
Hi, Patricia. Have you shared your screen?
Yes.
We can't see your screen.
I don't know.
Okay, it's coming up.
Coming up. What do you see exactly?
Yeah, Gdsn success story in healthcare.
Okay, perfect.
All
Thanks
right.
a lot, Julius. Thanks,
You're
Grace.
welcome.
Thanks, Christina, for your invitation to be part of your first webinar. Christina, you will well introduce the Gdsm principles and benefits for the suppliers and recipients in the healthcare and FMCG sector. Hi, everybody, dear participant, good morning. I'm Patricia Perrier from Bayer Consulting. I'm the partner account manager, and we will present to you some Gdsn success stories. Yes, great. I will only give you an introduction at Bayer Consulting Group. Bayer Consulting Group is an independent Germany company. We support operation worldwide in the sector FMCG and healthcare. We are expert proposing the services and solutions. We are early 20 years and experience and 60 employees worldwide. Yes, I only want to add what Christina told us, is that Bayer Consulting will initially work with Gs1 Nigeria very, very close to support the onboarding, the operation and maintenance of the Gdsn data pool Bsync. Yes, here I present to you Bayer Consulting team. We are very, very pleased to be part of this, we can say, this big challenge for Gs1 Nigeria and the region. We will already start working with Gs1 Nigeria from last summer, and we are that is the first step, this webinar. Here you have only some success story of healthcare. So on the left side, you have the suppliers and manufacturers already connected in Gdsn network. So like you can see Johnson & Johnson, Boston Scientific, Bayer, Lehman & Hirsch, Cochlear and Vigon. Our reference are Bayer, Lehman & Hirsch, Cochlear and Vigon. My colleague Sabina will present to you. On the right side, recipients, the actual active recipient actually receiving product data through Gdsn network. You have FDA in US agency, NHS in UK country. RISA is the French initiative in France. Healthcare content data portal in the Germany region. I will pass my colleague, Mark, to introduce you and present to you the healthcare content data portal.
Yes, thanks a lot, Patricia. Let me first give you a short introduction on myself. My name is Mark Aufdermauern. I joined Bayer Consulting about 8 years ago, and I'm dealing with the topic of Gdsn for about 12 years now. And during these 12 years, I supported around 2,500 suppliers and help them to participate in the Gdsn and to publish their data successfully to the recipients. I really appreciate being here today and joining this fantastic project and initiative from Gs1 Nigeria. Fantastic job. And yes, now let's continue. I will present to you our healthcare content data portal. So next slide, please. All right, healthcare product data portal. What is this? There are 4 large Bayer companies in Germany by the name of Prospitalia, PEG, EKK Plus, and Sana. They are connected to their customers, which are the hospitals, and they want to receive product data from their suppliers. So the issue was that the suppliers didn't send data electronically, but they send it via fax, for example, or as an email or whatever. So it was not at all standardized and so on. And these 4 buyers wanted to have a unique platform, one single platform where all item data can be published. So what we did is we created a platform to exchange product data. We used our tool Sync Manager to build this platform for these buyers and for their suppliers. We are providing this portal, and we are creating KPIs for data quality and monitoring of the onboarding process. So what we basically do is, in fact, we are onboarding the suppliers. So we are contacting, we have a whole team of employees who are contacting the suppliers and explaining them how to use the healthcare content data portal, how to create data, upload data, and publish data. So we concepted an implementation requirement list. So we were working really closely with these 4 buyers and created a list of requirements. What do they want to have? How should the portal work? And so on. We also created a concept to continuously measure data quality and provide reporting. So we are measuring data quality. There is a lot of data quality rules, which is validated in this data portal and which gets reported to the 4 buyer companies. Also, this HCDP portal is connected to the Gdsn. So HCDP is one data recipient in the Gdsn. So if a supplier uses Gdsn, he can simply publish his data to the HCDP portal. If he's not using Gdsn, of course, he can enter his item data manually, or he can upload his data with different formats, with the HCDP Excel template, with a GHX template, and so on. So there are many different ways of sending and providing data. Of course, we guide the suppliers through the onboarding process. So we support the suppliers. We do some webinars and trainings to help them understand the requirements and to fulfill these requirements. So what were the challenges we were facing? Of course, it's always about good usability. Right now, there are almost 300 suppliers actively using HCDP and publishing data. Of course, the solution is designed to fit much more suppliers. So it's at no risk over 500 suppliers, which is in total enough for these 4 buyers. But the solution could be enhanced to serve a lot more suppliers. Of course, we have a real large number of items. There are a lot of suppliers publishing a real huge number of item data. So actually, it's already about 1.5 million items, I guess. And in total, it will be several million items being stored in this HCDP portal. It's a real complex set of rules. Like I told you before, this is designed jointly with the 4 buyer companies and with the community, with a user group in Germany, which defines rules for the healthcare data quality. So this is going hand in hand, and it's really complex. And this is why we are doing the onboarding, to explain this set of rules to the suppliers. All right, what are the customers' benefits? Of course, it's a common use of product data. So all 4 buyer companies can consume data from the HCDP system and can provide these data to the hospitals they are working for. The data is standardized, so it's machine readable. they can easily use the data to import it to their own systems and for their own processes and so on. We are working continuously on a significant quality improvement of item data. So the data quality has risen in a real dramatic way compared to the data quality before. And the monitoring of the data quality and rating of suppliers, this is something we provide to the 4 buyer companies, so they can at every time see what quality level one supplier already reached and where he needs to improve a little bit. All right, next slide, please. Well, this is just an overview of this rules of data assurance, which is called CoVIN. This is Content Validation Network. And this is a joint initiative of 7 purchasing companies and associations, not only the 4 companies using HCDP right now, but 3 additional, which may be using the HCDP portal in the future. So they were just thinking about what do we define as data quality and how can we put these requirements into rules, and how can we implement these rules into a solution. And this is where we came in place, because we have several years of expertise and experience in Gdsn and in validating data and implementing validation rules and so on. This is just an overview of showing you how we report data quality in our healthcare content data portal. So this is based on our solution Sync Manager. And as you can see, there are a lot of statistics and a lot of graphics showing how the data quality is for a single supplier and for all suppliers in general. So we continuously raise data quality and we monitor the data quality. We continuously visualize KPIs so that even someone who's not really deep into this topic can understand the graphics just on one glance. All right, professional product management information systems, PIM, that's just a PIM system which Sync Manager can be used for. Like I said before, there are 300 active suppliers at the moment and 1.4 million items, with a lot more to come. And related to the topic of Gdsn, like I said before, if a supplier is using Gdsn, he can easily publish his item directly to the HCDP portal. And of course, because we are the experts for Gdsn in Germany, we support those Gdsn users and suppliers to successfully meet the requirements of HCDP. So if they have any questions, if they don't succeed in publishing data to the HCDP, we support them, we explain them what rules or what validation rules failed and what they need to do to successfully publish data. And this is what we do in the HCDP and Gdsn related to healthcare. And now I give it over to my colleague Sabine, who will present some other success stories to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. So just a bit little presentation from my side. So my name is Sabine Parfait. I'm working on Gdsn since 15 years right now. I'm going through Gs1 also, joining Atrify and One WorldSync. also a data pool, and now I'm working for Bayard Consulting since 1 year. I'm Gdsn expert, but I'm also a business solution where I analyze your issue and try to come out and to find a solution for your company. So today I will talk to you about 2 different companies where I did the implementation in healthcare. The first one, if you click the slide, the first one, it's Cochlear. Cochlear was founded in 1981, providing hearers implant for more than 180 countries. This healthcare company, it's a global leader in implant hearing solution. So they are providing more than 1,600,000 implants, helping people to hear at all age and connect with their life opportunity. The thing that Cochlear, it's as an implant specialist, was come to us, to Bayard Consulting, to integrate the services and the solution to connect to Gdsn initiative in different initiatives, such as NHS, which is a national healthcare service in UK, and the Dutch Implant Registry, which is in Netherlands. So to do that, we need to consolidate item information into SIG Manager, come to the publication, to the initiative, I will say, of NHS and LER and other, which is UDI FDA, which is in United States. But first of all, our main concern was effectively to integrate in our SIG Manager healthcare data model this new initiative, which is the Dutch one, the LER, in a short time, and also understand how the company manages internal information across these different users to make sure that the proper information is recorded by the proper user. So we first effectively connect SIG Manager to our data pool, which is BSync, to have access to Gdsn, because you probably hear during all this presentation that Gdsn is key and you need to connect to a data pool. And you need to connect to one unique data pool to get access to this. Then we manage the project as an agile implementation. The agile implementation, more or less, if you know or not know what it is, it's the spread of the project between tasks, and we at the end of this task deliver something. So we going step by step. We also we also have already implemented some kind of healthcare data model with all basic Gdsn rules, but we also add to this data model different information, like internal attribute from the customer, a workflow, but also different business rule to handle all these different aspects of the project. Yeah. So the challenges for us was first, okay, do you want to share your item information to the LER initiative, which was quite new for me because I used to advise customer for UDI or NHS, but not for LER, which is a hearing implant approach. So very it's have the same attributes, just to be comfortable on that. There is the same attributes, but different rules against that country. So we adapt our data model on that. And we also create a workflow for this company, because 4 different actors was putting and implement and increase the data quality in the process for them. So based on that, the workflow was made, but we also train the end customer and explain them the concept of managing data and publishing data. So the result of that, it was an updated data model containing also this earlier initiative. And you will show, if you work with us, that any new initiative is not based on one unique data model, but it's depending of the target market of the country that you choose, all business rule and all attributes available and necessary for this country are set in Sync Manager, and you can create your item based on that. We also add some quite custom validation for them, because from their system, some different information was not fully fit what expected by Gdsn, but they only also need to show internally some information. So we did that for them, and they gain the quality. And the more important thing for them, it was having this in place in less than 2 months to be able to publish to area. In the same time, we also do that for NHS, because and just train them on the different item information that they need to feed for NHS. This fully, just to finish on that, right now they are still publishing data information. They're also updating because the Gsn also update all the initiative. And now our customer Cochlear is looking for EDAMED initiative. You probably hear something about that. So we work on that, on EDAMED initiative, but also in a Danish initiative. So this was the success story for Cochlear. Right now, I will just have a quick chat on an explanation on Vigon, which is also a healthcare customer, a supplier customer, specialized on the catheter and the drain used in the medical professional in hospital. Vigon, it's a company found in 1962 in Belgium with Pierre Pionnet and his headquarters near Paris. And this company employed 250 people in 120 countries. So they come to us because they did have a big project to also go to Gdsn and have some internal system issue. They was using Excel in different formats to cross the information, have a consistent, more or less, information through their different system. I say through their different system because the main challenge here was effectively to retrieve all information for those 4 different systems, reconstruct them in the right way where they have one single point of information of their attributes and of their item information, and able to publish it to the different initiatives. Effectively, same as Cochlear, they are publishing information across the world, so FDA, UDI FDA, NHS, but also in France and other countries. So for them, we going to the approach to understand their ERP, construct some kind of SaaS solution compliant with healthcare, and manage all UDI publication for the United States, manage also all entries from the different system, all based effectively on the Agile project, where we deliver step by step the different aspects of the project, and also guide them in that sense by setting a workflow of the creation, validation, transformation, publication, at the end, the item information to the different initiatives. So yeah, next slide. Next point, okay. The workflow was most complex thing that we was to do for them, because having 4 different systems and the article information spread in those different systems, we want to make sure that what we have at the end was compliant. So we create quite complex workflow with different users, adding information, checking the system, and have a better data governance of their item. A part of the Sync Manager or product was also doing some project management for them to transform the item information and repush this item information to their internal system. So they are not only publishing Gdsn, publishing item information to Gdsn, but they gain also accuracy and data quality, having all this information in Sync Manager and retrieve that to syndicate that information to all different systems. Next point, okay. So we successfully published to FDA Good ID, so in US, and also publishing successfully to the NHS initiative all the item that required by Vegan, having all the complexity on the background from their side, having business rule and so on. We also managed a link because all the thing was made at the beginning using Excel upload, but once we understood how the article was split in the different system, we tried to make something more automatical and connect Sync Manager to their ERP. We also did some data governance of the implementation, reflection of the PIM, so they did a really good job by having a step back and stay and think about how they want their system to work and implement their PIM in that sense. They gain a high quality of product information and high quality of information that they see directly in their proper system. So they have the feedback from the NHS and LER retailer that the quality of their data was good, but also in their internal process, again, also in that. The challenge also was effectively to have all this made in a certain time that we successfully delivered to them. And just also to finish with Weigen, they're also already very keen to be part of the Udamed. So they are our partner to test and improve the process of Udamed. So they will be with us, the first customer publishing to Udamed. So if you have any question.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sabina. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. Only want to summarize what the Bayard consulting team presented. So Sabina explained very well the success story of two manufacturers working with us, Weigen and Cochlear, based on the agile methodology implementation. And Mark explained to us the HCDP healthcare portal in Germany country region. And I think it's important to share with you that this healthcare initiative in Europe is very interesting because it's a very good example of how collaborates with the purchasing organization and with the community, healthcare community, and especially with Gs1 Germany. So we work a lot and we continue working a lot with Gs1 Germany. So that is to give you an idea how we also can we work with Gs1 Nigeria. That is as I want to explain to you. Perfect. I give you the hand, Grace, Christina. I stop sharing the screen.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for telling us about other companies you worked with that you implemented Gdsn like Baygon, I believe, when Sabine shared with us. So right now we're just going to talk about how Gs1 Nigeria and Bayard, how we are starting Gdsn and becoming a data pool in Nigeria. So Madam Christine is going to, anchor that. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions for them, please just drop it in the chat box. I'm going to answer all questions.
Thank you very much, Grace. Thank you. I want to thank all participants here today. I'm just going to explain a little bit about how the approach to Gdsn in Nigeria is going to be. As we mentioned before, I think I put this screen up, is that we're actually going to be working with the Bayard Consulting Group to deploy the global data synchronization network in Nigeria. Gs1 Nigeria will be the face of course of Gdsn, because it's our standards. But what we're going to do is that for all companies that are going to deploy Gdsn, we're going to be working together with Bayard Consulting Group to actualize the implementation of Gdsn in your organizations. It's very important for us to realize that Gs1 Nigeria is actually leaning on the expertise of the Bayard Consulting Group, because they have been able to successfully deploy Gdsn across many parts of Europe, in the healthcare sector, and also in the retail sector. And what we're going to do is that at the end of today's presentation, we're going to forward all the material to all participants who registered for this webinar. And on this, on the presentations, our contacts, and we'll also be following up with all of you to see how we can work together. So the most important thing we need to remember is the fact that Gs1 Nigeria will introduce some companies to the Bayard Consulting Group. The Bayard Consulting Group will work a lot with organizations to set up Gdsn for their within Nigeria for companies. The most important thing is that it's very important for us to realize that Gdsn is actually the standardized industry-wide exchange of master data, and it will help you to streamline very strongly the product data exchange between yourselves and your partners. As I mentioned during the presentation, it's also very important for those organizations that do supply donor programs, that Gdsn is actually becoming supply of information to Gdsn is becoming an ever increasing requirement. So if any of you are working, if any of you have received any communication from any international organization that you who supplies to USAID, then please you are very free to reach out to us. So I think that's where we'll take it, where we'll leave it for now. I want to hand over the presentation, this presentation to Julius Adedoyin, who is our healthcare officer, to provide you with other updates. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Christine, for giving us the insight on how Gs1 Nigeria and Bayard Consulting Group will be working together to actualize Gdsn in Nigeria. So let me share my screen. Okay, I believe you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, this is just to inform every one of us that Gs1 Healthcare is excited to announce the third Gs1 Healthcare Online Summit, which is coming up on the 15th to 18th of November 2021 This event will showcase speakers from across the world and is designed to bring together all global healthcare community. Participants will hear how GS1 standards can help to improve clinical outcomes and supply processes, how Gs1 global standards are being used to help secure the supply chain, and gain insight about the important regulatory development and so much more. So we'd like you to register for this event, which is going to enlighten you more about what GS1 standards can do for you, particularly in healthcare. Introduction about GS1 standards, healthcare providers, medical devices, regulation, implementation progress, driving healthcare change around the world. So the link to register will be posted in the chat box for you to register. Thank you very much. So, and also, this is also an opportunity for us to tell you that the next session about this webinar is going to come up on the 26th of November. That is next month. So this will be later communicated to us via our emails. So for us to register for the next session on Gdsm. At least for now, we've been able to gather one or two information about what Gdsm is and how we can implement Gdsm in our various organizations. So I believe with more information also, we can also learn more about Gdsm as it relates to our organization and our trading partners. So thank you very much, everyone. The recording will be shared with every one of us at the end of this session. So before the end of today, we'll send you the recordings and we'll share also the presentation slides to every one of you. If you have any questions, you can always ask the question, probably sending it in the inbox right now, or share it via your email address that will be sending in our chat box. I think that is all for now. Thank you very much. We are glad to have you on this webinar today. Thank you so much. I don't know if Mrs. Christine have any other thing to say before we end the call. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julius. I just want to thank everybody for being on today's webinar. On this webinar today, we have the CEO of Gs1 Nigeria, Mr. Tunde Dulami, and we also have the Africa Healthcare Manager, who oversees healthcare for Gs1 in Africa. That is Ms. Nuran Idris. So I don't know, sir. I don't know, Nuran, if you want to just say a few words before we end today's webinar. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. And once again, I add my thanks to what you've already had from the rest of the team for joining us. We know everybody's time is very precious. That you choose to give your time to us is something that we take very, very sacred, and we appreciate it very much. My thanks also goes to the team from Bayer, Mark, Patricia, and Sabina. Thank you very much for helping us to make this a reality. My team has already spoken greatly about the cooperation between us at Gs1 Nigeria and also Bayer. This partnership is focused to deliver quality in terms of data sharing to all the eventual off-takers in Nigeria. What we are planning to do is to fill a gap that already exists within the space where we trade in Nigeria. Data is not readily available. Partnership to share data is not available. What we currently do with our trading partners is to either send data manually, or our buying companies always have to find ways to generate their own data internally. But with partnership between the buyers and the vendors who sell to the buyers, we could improve the flow of information between ourselves and improve also the way we do business. This has been shown within our slides. to greatly improve business process and also improve profitability to you. So these are the things that I believe you will be looking at. Data is no good if quality is not available in data. And because quality data is what we are after, that is the reason why we are partnering with Beard, who already has this experience in making sure that not only do they collect data, but they have tools and resources to make sure that those data are also of quality. They have great experience in helping vendors in onboarding them to their data, their various data portal, which they mentioned, BSync being one of them, and also their own internal data pool, which we are leveraging on. All this is to make sure that we provide you with an easy way of getting to communicate and share information between the buyers and the sellers in the Nigerian market space. Now, we know that this initiative is something that is new and something that we strongly believe at Gs1 Nigeria will benefit our efforts both at the healthcare
We lost Mr. Ondalimbi.
Hello.
We lost
I
him.
think there may be a slight network issue from Mr. Dulami's site. Let's see if we can soon get in on. Apologies for that. Thank you.
Okay, he's back. You can please unmute, sir.
All right, thank you, Julius, and apologies for that unfortunate situation here with power supply. But basically, in summary, what we are building is a foundation to a great future. And what I'm asking is for all of you to please join us in this journey to build a strong foundation of data sharing for Nigeria. In the healthcare space, we all know that what we do in the healthcare space influence and saves lives on a daily basis. So traceability is the foundation of what we are building in the healthcare space, and data is required to do that. In the retail sector, that we will also be focusing on, the data we share is important to the retailer in growing their businesses and in their ability to also serve their clients and their vendors efficiently. So all this together is what we believe we'll be able to bring to bear as we continue on this journey. And we are grateful to have you all join us. With the help of our experts from Baird and all the other, doing our best to make sure that this is as possible. Thank you all for participating. And as the team has said, if you have questions, communication, hand-holding of any sort, so that you can understand the standards, understand the processes of Gdsn, learn more about its benefits, the team are available to guide you through this process. And I repeat, so that it is as painless and as efficient as possible. So thank you all for joining, and we look forward to working with you in future meetings. Thank you all. Bye for now.
Thanks a lot, Tunde. Cheers.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. On behalf of Bayard Consulting, Patricia, Mark, and Sabine, and Gs1 Nigeria, thank you everyone for attending the webinar. We hope to see you some other time by next month, hopefully. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's good to have you around. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right. We have our details here. You can always contact us. That's our details, email address, and our phone numbers. You can always reach out to us. Thank you. All right, Patricia, thank you.
Thank you, Julius. You will
Yeah.
send the contact by email to the participants.
Yes.
Yes, our contacts are on our presentation. So once you send the
Okay.
presentation, the contacts will be there also. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Okay, bye. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mrs. Oyebanji Esther, you're raising up your hand. Are you there? Please, you can unmute. Esther Oyebanji, please, you can unmute.
Hello, I'm still aware that we're still aware that there are people that are still on the call. I don't know if there's any question anybody wants to ask before we formally end the webinar. Thank you, because it is already ended. Because we noticed that Mrs.
Oyebanji Esther.
Oyebanji Esther, her hand was raised.